It has the same effects as cocaine, meth, and ecstasy.
It's known on the street as Cloud 9.
It's being purchased at many gas stations. It's not visible to the public. The tenants keep the product behind the counter.
And more high school kids are getting their hands on it. Here's the scary part. It's completely legal.
Obviously, just because it says over the counter does not always mean the drug you're purchasing is good for you. On the contrary, it may be something that could severely injure and maybe even kill you. Such is the case for synthetic drugs and a new alarm for parents and kids alike. Welcome back to Midpoint. Newsmax Deputy Health Editor Nick Tate with another weekly house call. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to be here.
I was really, part of me was shocked when I saw this. Part of me was not, because I know these things happen. But when I saw this report, there's nothing on the label. It's colorless, and the kids are putting it into the e-cigarette containers now, and we're having potentially fatal results.
That's right. I mean, because this is the new bath salt. This is the new form of bath salts that kids have been taking that are over the counter. You buy them in a gas station, you buy them in a convenience store. Usually the clerk keeps it behind the counter, but these kids know how to ask for them. And even though it is legal, they're labeled not fit for human consumption. They can have tremendous negative effects on your heart, boost your heart rate, cause heart attacks, and they do lead to violent behavior, delusions. They really, as the officer said there, they really mimic the power and the impact of drugs like cocaine and LSD and
cocaine,
ecstasy.
meth, ecstasy.
That's right.
So we're talking about heart rate too, potential heart attacks for kids.
That's right. I mean, we've heard in Detroit that 6 kids were hospitalized with heart problems and other problems that they've had because of these drugs. And as you say, just because it's over the counter and there's no warning label does not mean it's safe. In fact,
if there's no warning label and there's nothing to tell you what's in it, then you should have. When did e-cigarettes all of a sudden become the picture of health? I mean, that seems to be the way they're promoting it.
Well, you know, the makers of conventional cigarettes are really trying to label e-cigarettes as they are moving and replacing tobacco, regular tobacco. The makers of regular cigarettes and e-cigarettes are now carrying voluntary labels that say this is a dangerous product. It can cause heart problems. They do have nicotine, and nicotine is very toxic and addictive. You know, I think for some people these labeling efforts are questionable. You know, when did the Marlboro Man become a public health advisor, you know, is really the question. But in fact, many of the big tobacco companies are putting labels on these new products as they're rolling them out in a way to warn consumers, number one, and some say to try to head off tougher FDA regulations on e-cigarettes, number two, that could help them increase market share. So the motivation is really at question, but the bottom line is telling people that these new products may be in fact carrying some harm and may pose some risks, I think is a good idea. That's what the FDA is looking at. World Health Organization and many organizations are calling for the FDA to regulate them like regular cigarettes. But the truth is that research shows that they are far safer than smoking tobacco. Vaping nicotine is a safer alternative to smoking tobacco. So if they can get people off tobacco cigarettes and onto this alternative as a bridge to quitting, they may do more good than harm. So the FDA is trying to figure out whether they pose enough risk in themselves to be regulated like regular cigarettes.
45 seconds. Update us on Matt Ganzik, who was on our show, said he couldn't get health care through Obamacare. Wow, all of a sudden, a day or two later, there it was, as soon as he said it on the show.
Well, now he says that his appearance on the show moved the regulators and the folks to bring him the insurance. We can't say that for sure, but certainly did draw attention to the fact that many people are caught in the gaps of Obamacare. When he moved from New York to Florida, he couldn't get it. The day after he told his story on Newsmax, he was able to get insurance, and now he's fully insured.
Now, if only people had a place to go to complain on a regular basis about their health care like that,
right.
which they don't have.
We try to help where we can, but it's one case, and you know the lesson there is that he really took the initiative to reach out to insurers and kind of go around some of the regulations to make it work for him, and so you kind of have to take responsibility for yourself in that case.
We are always proud to help when we can. Nick,
Absolutely.
thanks so much. Okay.
My pleasure.
Hey, don't forget, go to healthradarnow.com to get your special offer on the Obamacare Survival Book, and tomorrow is the 1-year anniversary of Obamacare, by the way. After the break, Nick Tate and yours truly will show off our superhuman strength. We will bench press this entire set, and then we will balance it on the tips of our fingers. This will show that we indeed are the healthiest men in the building. Just in case you're wondering, all right? We want to pump you up. Only see it. It'd just be perfect right now. Of course, we'll also get back with On Point and a whole lot more. Stay with us right here.